for the sole reason we are an education company first and foremost. We are accredited. We are actually an accredited school with the United States. So when you travel with us, you have opportunity to earn academic credits, professional development credits, and basically everybody that works with us is taught in some capacity. So we're not just salespeople, but we know what teachers are looking for in a trip and what parents want to see their kids get out of a trip. So these are just some of the stats that we've compiled over the years. World Strides bought us a few years back, so they are our parent company. And they oversee, because of that, we're allowed to reap the benefits of having a huge company behind us with the travel insurances and all of the other things that come along with it. So you can go ahead to the next slide and we'll talk a little bit more.
Can you guys still see the slide?
I can.
Okay.
I don't know if everybody else can, but yep, it's
I've
good
never
on this
used,
end.
it's been a while since we've used Teams, so I'm not used to it.
Right, right. Um, so I know through my conversations with you folks that you've traveled over the past years. I've done some amazing trips. I would love to have done some of the ones you've gone on. But the benefits of student travel, we kind of put this out here for people to see who don't know, who are new to traveling, and why performance travel is so important. It's a proven fact that not only musicians and kids that are in music programs are better at all subjects in school. Their brains work a little bit differently because they have to be more creative and problem solving. But student travel gives the opportunity for students to not only learn through the music, but to learn how to navigate some things that maybe they wouldn't do if they were traveling with mom and dad, or or students who don't get to travel at all. So these are some of the benefits that we'd like to put on here. Um, do some research, if you will, but student travel, and especially the memories that the kids get when they go out and they talk to the other students who are their tribe. You know, they see other kids doing it, and they realize that their love is a love for other students out there. But so yeah, student travel, one of the best things you can do for your students. Okay. Like I said, you can earn academic credits. There is a form that I can send you a link to so that you can sign up for it afterwards. It's a real short little essay after you travel, and you do earn academic credits. Colleges love to see this stuff on transcripts. So for those of you who are juniors or sophomores thinking about the college path, this is a great way to boost up your resume for your college applications. And then the same thing, professional development for you as well. For any teacher who goes on this trip, they can earn professional development points. So it's kind of a neat way to do that. So I can send more information on that. And then a little bit more about World Strides in general. We have a branch of our company called World Assist, and it's a 24/7, always available to deal with any kind of emergency, any issue, any problem. Um, so say you have something that happens when you get to the airlines and the flights are delayed, or due to weather, due to nothing that's nothing that's your fault. We have a World Assist team that is right on it to make sure that we can solve that situation. Same thing goes with if somebody's hurt on the trip. Our World Assist team steps into action immediately, gets the care that's needed to where they need to be. It really is a magnificent company as far as there's someone there, a live person. It's not an AI thing. It's not a chatbot. It is a live person that will always give you what you need at the time. So we have the Doctors on Call program. So maybe it doesn't need an emergency room visit, but somebody's sick and a chaperone decides they want to call the Doctors on Call program. They can get guidance to navigate whatever the ailment is. And then we also provide insurance for everybody who buys into the package. So once you step on this trip, from the moment that you are with us to the time that you end, you're covered by supplementary accident, illness, dental, any of that. We don't want to see that happen, but if it does happen, you are covered by that insurance through this company. So. All right, so the Thanksgiving Day Parade experience. Like I said, it is by Macy's. It is nationally televised, and we'll provide the links for those people who aren't traveling, so they can actually see the parade from the comfort of their home. We do a dinner dance party that involves every band that travels with us to the parade. So not only is it your group, but every other group that's coming into town to be in this parade will be involved in this fantastic dinner dance. So again, the students get to see other people, talk to other band kids. And I believe you're extending that to all of your add-on travelers as well. That's going to be
The
included for
followers,
them.
yeah,
Yep. So the parents will be
yeah,
able to be involved.
yep.
A lot of companies don't do that. A lot of companies have events for the students, but not for the, parents that kind of tag along. But um, I love that we are able to do that. So you are staying at the Hilton downtown in Chicago, right on Michigan. I think it's South Michigan is the address. So it is literally steps from the parade route, which means, you'll come out to the truck to get your stuff the day of the parade, and you are literally ready to line up. You don't have to get on the bus and go across town. You don't have to get up at midnight for a 2 a.m. report time. There's a lot of benefits to doing this parade, which you will see, once you get there. It's great vicinity. You're within walking distance to so many of the amazing things that we have listed here, like the Willis Tower, the Navy Pier, and a few of the Magnificent Miles. So a lot of the stuff was right there within walking distance. And now, Serge, you said you have been to this hotel before?
Yeah, yeah, for a convention years ago. It's really nice. And I always heard the rumor, but I couldn't confirm this that Home Alone 2 was filmed there,
And Karen did
or
confirm that.
parts
So
of the movie
yeah,
were filmed there. Yeah.
yep.
So, fun fact.
It is a fun fact, but again, she burst my bubble because I always assumed that was the Park Plaza in New York City, but it's not. It's the hotel you guys will be staying in. So,
Yeah, it's gorgeous. You know,
and it makes for
no,
some great photo ops too if people
yeah.
want to take some photos in there. So, all right, so let's get in a little bit deeper to the parade itself. Um, this is the tentative itinerary that you've worked out with Karen, and so you'll hear this name. It's Karen Sorensen, who is the Chicago Parade manager. She is the one who does all the details of the bookings and makes sure that your itinerary is laid out perfectly. And we'll do a lot of interaction talking for you guys to make this the best trip possible on all ends. So this is the tentative itinerary right now. I don't know. Did you want to go through it or did you want me to kind of highlight it, or would you
No,
like to take
yeah,
over?
you can highlight it.
Okay. So you'll all be arriving on Monday morning. We do have a couple of different flights. We, as a company, everybody assumes that we can just put, you guys have close to 300 people now, all total, or I mean, it's between 250 and three. Um, we can't put more than sometimes 75 to 100 tops on one plane, so we do have to split up the flights, but we're going to make it as easy as possible. But once you get to the airport, we'll provide transportation via motor coach, charter buses, not school buses, but charter buses will pick you up. You're going to drop off your luggage at the hotel where they'll store it safely until the rooms are ready. Chances are the rooms won't be ready. Typically, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon before the keys will be given out. You're going to spend some time at Navy Pier, which is an amazing place. It's kind of like I always compare it to a pseudo carnival atmosphere where they have a huge Ferris wheel. There's a long boardwalk area with shops and restaurants and right on Lake Michigan. It's a pretty cool place. So you'll spend some time there, grab some lunch on your own. Then you're going to do the Windalla boat tour, which is on the Chicago River. And I don't know if anybody's seen at St. Patrick's Day time, they dye that river green. I'm not sure if anybody's seen the videos of it. That's the river in Chicago that they dye green for St. Patrick's Day. So you'll take this boat tour, and it's an I'm sorry, architect tour.
Architecture,
um,
man.
architect, yeah, the words sometimes just, um, of all the buildings in Chicago. So you'll see the history of the town, and it really dives into the use of the river and why the river was such an important part of Chicago. So really cool tour. Um, everybody talks about the bean, taking the picture in front of that big, is it pewter? I'm not even sure what it's made out of, but it looks like a kidney bean, and it's in the middle of Millennium Park. Um, Great chance for I recommend singing a song in front of there if you can, and even if it's just humming one of your tunes. The acoustics under the bean are insane. So try it out when you're there. Film a video, send it to us. We'll put it up on our website. But it's a lot of fun. Checking into the hotel, and then dinner that night is going to be at Giordano's, which is one of the most famous pizza places in all of Chicago. So you're going to get yourself some deep dish pizza. And on Tuesday, we decided to go the box breakfast route. The breakfast at the hotel, their buffet is really expensive. So in order to cut some cost for everybody, you're going to do a box breakfast. But it will be changed up each day. It won't be the same thing, but at least we're going to start you off with a nice, healthy breakfast every morning. The Magnificent Mile is all of
And can I
the,
just
oh,
I'll
go
just
ahead.
chime in on that, Jody. It's pre-order like
Yep.
breakfast sandwiches with other breakfast items. So it's not just like,
It's not
a
donuts.
dry box of cereal or something. Yeah.
Right. And yes, so Karen will get a list from you. People will have the chance to pre-order it ahead of time so that everybody can choose what they want.
And I'm assuming
On
they can accommodate dietary restrictions and needs.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Gluten-free, vegetarian.
Yeah.
We know that there are a million different um, dietary restrictions out there, and we do our best to accommodate all of them. So as long as we get that information into Karen, then we can get that for you guys. Absolutely.
Awesome.
So yeah, that Magnificent Mile again just has all of the museums and the shops and some great different sights to see as you're going along. Some time to do some souvenir shopping if you wanted to, and then that lunch cruise is actually out on Lake Michigan, and it's also a dancing. They have a DJ for some dancing and that kind of thing, but it's a luncheon cruise. Um, Again, all the trips that I do, I think the thing that kids love the most, or students love the most, sorry, is those dinner dance type things that we put on and interacting with other people. So more time to explore Chicago, and then dinner. Haven't decided yet which restaurant, but it'll be a group dinner pre-planned for the students. And again, you will probably have a pre-order so that you know what you want ahead of time.
I'm
Um,
voting for Ed DeBevick's.
all right.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely, and that's our go-to
Yeah.
when we do sit-down dinners. A group of your size is the challenge. So making sure that we can get a group of that size into the restaurant, which you guys have booked early enough that we should be able to do that. So that's our goal is to get you your first choice. Wednesday, we're going to do the Field Museum, which is an amazing museum. Some more lunch on your own, and then Sears Tower she put on here, but it's actually called the Willis Tower now, and but it is a Sears building. It used to be the tallest building in the country for a while. You go to the top of it, and there's a really cool observation deck, some more history up there, um, and then the recognition dinner is on Wednesday night. So, and I know people always ask what to wear to that. We have kids that dress up like it's a semi-formal type of a thing, or students wear their band T-shirts. So there's no stipulation on what you have to wear, and that's really up to you to talk about as a group. And but it is a if you wanted to dress up a little bit, by all means. Um, and then Thursday's parade day. So obviously we don't know what time, but it's usually around 6 to 7 in the morning is when you're going to have to get out to get all your stuff and line up. Um, then we'll head you out to the airport and you'll have lunch on your own at the airport before you head home. Or set up something. You had talked to Karen about maybe setting up a luncheon beforehand. Is that still a thing?
Yeah. We're gonna debate that and just find out exactly.
What works
I
better
think,
timing?
yeah, I think like when we get closer to the parade and we find out what our staging time is and
Right,
when we're done, maybe we'll figure all that out. But there's not a lot open, I've been told, on
right,
Thanksgiving Day in Chicago. So, we may do like an early pizza lunch and then head to the airport.
right. And I will say, traveling on Thanksgiving, some people might think that, oh, why are we traveling on Thanksgiving? And I will tell you the cost difference to travel on Thanksgiving versus the next day is probably about $400 to $500 per person right now as far as airfare goes. So, and in my experiences, you don't want to be in an airport the day after Thanksgiving or the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So when you hear about all these horror stories about people, sitting in the airport for delay after delay and that kind of thing, with the amount of people that travel the weekend after Thanksgiving, we find that traveling on Thanksgiving itself is probably the most smooth experience that we can provide to you. So um, that's that's your itinerary in a nutshell right here. And I haven't been checking the chat. Have there been questions? I should probably pull
Not
that
yet.
up just in case. Okay. And then we just have some pictures of some of the groups from last year and the year before. They have the parade, they have the balloons just like the parade in New York City. Again, not as grand scale. It's not as large as the one in New York, but they do have the big balloons. You will perform. You'll parade in, and you will perform a standstill. And I'm sure you'll go over all this, but um, you'll have an opportunity to perform in front of the grandstand area. And again, it's televised, so that will be on television as well. So it's a really neat little, just like they do in Macy's in New York, where they stop the bands for a couple of minutes. Well, not a couple. Well, was it like 30 seconds, maybe to a minute in front of a certain area, and then they parade on out. So you will have the opportunities to do that. Um, the upper picture there is that's the boat tour, and then the Navy Pier, and then obviously Lake Michigan for the luncheon cruise. And I think that, okay, so this here basically shows you what your trip includes. We tried to pack as much in as possible with keeping within a budget. So this is a lot of stuff that you guys are going to get to do and see. Um, and I'm sure that, did you want to take over and talk about it more, or do you want me to keep going
Yeah.
here?
Well, we had a question. What is
Sure.
being recognized at the recognition dinner dance? I'm assuming just all the bands that are participating.
Absolutely. So they'll call out every school. They might call out, you as director, that kind of thing, but they recognize every school so that everybody knows who else is participating in the event. You get some kind of a, I won't spoil it all, but you'll get something that says you participated in this parade as well. But it's a good chance to find out where everybody's from. But it's yes, a nice recognition of who's there. It's not a competition. We don't give out awards or anything like that, but it is a recognition, and you get a plaque that says that you were part of this program, that kind of a thing. So that kind of a recognition.
Um, this is a question I'll answer. If parents, families go, is there opportunity for family to hang out with the students? As long as if you're meeting up with them at the attractions and sightseeing type things that we're going to, then yes. Um, I mean, unless it's an emergency or some medical reason, we don't let our students separate from the student group. So let's say you want to take your child out and go to dinner somewhere, we don't allow that. But yeah, if we're at the Millennium Mile or Millennium Park and you're there, you want to meet up with your students, you're more than welcome to. I can't guarantee they're going to want to hang out with most of some parents. Usually they want to avoid their parents, but yes.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for families to be able to see what the students are doing and share the experience. But it's really important that the students get the full experience from traveling with their peers and really participating as that band unit, which I'm sure, you have in the past and all the places you've gone. So this is a great opportunity though for them to take part in this as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I think we've already highlighted all the inclusions of the trip. I will say that the round trip airfare is all direct flights.
Hmm.
They're all great flights in terms of getting our group, maximizing the time of our trip, getting our group there early Monday morning, which means, unfortunately, we'll have to have the students probably meet up at the high school pretty early in the morning. Um, and then, like somewhere around the 4 a.m. time frame. And then, getting us home later Thursday night,
Right.
so really trying to use that whole time. Um, and then we're also including transportation from Londonderry to Logan and then back on Thursday night. So that's included as part of the trip.
Does the flight go into Midway or to O'Hare?
O'Hare.
O'Hare, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, in fact, I did just put all that information into the trip packet.
Oh, perfect.
So if any parents, you guys want to go look at the trip packet, I just updated that today and included the flight times. And I did that because we also put out our followers package to all the parents that expressed interest. And so that will be first come, first serve, because we did, reserve 90 seats, and we think we might, have enough parents to fill all those. If you didn't fill out the survey, we'll send it out Sunday and let you know if there's extra room, and we'll allow you to be able to sign up for that. But the times for the parents are pretty similar. They're leaving a little bit later on Monday morning. I think their flight is at 9 and they get in at 11:30.
Mhm.
And then coming home, they leave a little bit later than us. I think their flight back here is at 8, and they get back roughly 10:30, something like that. I forget the exact time. So, it should all work out. I included this page, payments. Um, Checks can be made out to Friends of Music and mailed to the high school. Just make sure you put Friends of Music on the envelope, and it'll go right into their mailbox, which we have in the main office. The credit card payment can be made using in cut time. So hopefully all new parents, you guys have all figured out how to navigate cut time and get into that. But if you haven't, feel free to email either myself or our treasurer, John Rolfe, who's on the call right now. And then, or you can use the Zephy, which is also a credit card payment, but that doesn't have any processing fees. So that might be something that you can use. And also that is a great link to just send to family and friends who want to make payments for your child. That's kind of like our first fundraiser. I'll talk about fundraisers in a second, but so all this information is in the trip packet that I sent out to you guys. And then finally, cash payments are not allowed to be delivered by students. So if you do need to pay by cash, you're going to have to set something up, and we'll meet at the high school this week. Oops, there we go. How come I can't switch? Oh, maybe I ran out of slides. Okay, I thought I had a fundraising slide on there. But that's okay. I'll just briefly go over the fundraisers we have planned. So in July, we're going to be raffling off, allowing people to sell tickets for the 2 Patriots tickets versus the Buffalo Bills. December, what was the date? December 9th, I want to say. December 6th, I think, is the date. So those were 2 tickets that were donated by one of our band families. And so we use a website called Rally Up. So almost 100% of the money that is used to purchase those raffle tickets goes into your child's travel account. But I think the website takes like 3 or 4%. Don't quote me on that, but so it's almost 100%. And then in August, we'll be kicking off our Mums fundraiser. Those are really nice plants that are provided by, help me out, someone, not Shady Acres, but the other green.
Orchard Hill?
Orchard Hill greenhouse in Londonderry. Those are really beautiful plants for the fall. And then September 12th is our mattress fundraiser, and that's at the high school CAF. And we'll get information out about all of that. But that is a super easy fundraiser for you to just get the word out to your family and friends, so that they can just basically show up. And if they purchase even just pillows or mattresses, they're brand new name brand mattresses that get delivered, and there's haul away and all that good stuff that's associated with buying a mattress. So it's a really great fundraiser, and some students have raked in $500-600 just from that, because each mattress is like $100 or $150 or something like that, depending on the size. So those are our fundraisers. So that's all I have. Are there any questions from parents? Let me see a bunch of stuff in the chat here. Are parents allowed to chaperone? So we already have chaperones selected based on people that normally participate and help out with our our activity throughout the year and last year. So we are all set there, but we do have the followers package if you are interested. The Zephy link does not have an option to pay, just to donate. Is there a set of directions? So there are a set of directions in the packet. I know it does kind of say you're donating, but it's you click on the link that we provided in the packet, choose I want to donate, give to the general campaign. This will allow you to specify a student and essentially make a payment for your child.
Yeah.
Choose campaign, Lancers Take on Chicago, and then enter the payment amount. And then you get to enter the personal information, and you enter your personal information and enter student's name where it asks full name of student support, and we will make sure that money goes into your child's travel account. And just a couple of other things about fundraising. All of that money is, so all these fundraisers are personal fundraisers for each child. So I know a lot of us have always participated in our kids' soccer team fundraiser or dance, whatever fundraiser, where all the money gets pooled and goes to the organization and kind of gets split up amongst everybody in the organization. All of our fundraisers exclusively go to help each individual student. So if you sell Patriots raffle tickets to aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, all of that money will go into your child's travel account. And I always say travel account, but actually it can be used for the band accessory fee that all the new freshmen have to purchase. It can be used for, the banquet at the end of the year. If they choose to go to that. So it can be used for other things as well. And any of that money that's fundraised, if they don't travel this year, it carries over to next year or the year after, however long they're in the band. If they have a sibling coming up after them, it gets transferred into the siblings account. So the one thing you can't do is you can't, when your child is done with band, cash out. You can't just get a cha-ching check and cash out. Bring that with you. So so where can we see our students' travel account balance? That will be in cut time. Right now we're in the process of adding your child. If you did make the payment, once you do that, we'll add the trip to their cut time account, and you'll see that as a balance. So that's getting worked on as we get closer to the due date Friday. And if you made a payment in Zephy, we're getting caught up on, because Zephy is not connected with cut time. So we're getting caught up on transferring all those people that made the payment in Zephy over to cut time.
Yep.
So multiple platforms.
We need signed contracts too as well. If the students or the parents haven't signed the contracts yet for the trip, that's something they should be looking at getting done too.
Yeah, there's two ways to do that. I did resend out a link for that. You can do that digitally on cut time.
Yep.
If you didn't get the link, just go to your cut time account. It should be in one of the tabs on the dashboard.
Yep.
A lot of the students don't log into cut time. They don't see the reason. They don't really need to. So if they can't figure that out, they can just print off the final page of the packet and have them sign it. And you can just scan that or take a picture of it and email it to me, and I'll be able to go in and check them off that they signed the contract. But the contract is important for the trip packet because it does go through all the rules and regulations and making sure that the students understand the behavioral expectations of the trip. So yeah, great questions. Any other questions? Any other statements, SPOM board? You guys want to chime in? Did I miss anything? Anything important?
Is it recommended freshman parents attend their first trip? No, I think we covered most of it. Sorry, I didn't mean. I think I just talked over somebody. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm sorry. I just wanted to know, is there a rough estimate of what we should be telling the students to bring for costs for covering meals on their own? Where I'm certain that'll be out of pocket, and I'm not quite sure what kind of areas we'll be in. What the availability is of things. I don't know if it's fast food or if it's, delis, whatnot, but just some, rough estimate to say, hey, the kids should bring XYZ amount, or, their lunches, though everything else is covered.
Yeah, that's a great question. Jody, do you have a good answer for that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, we typically see for lunches, kids are spending about $20. That's kind of what we say. You know, I mean, it depends. You know your student more than we do, how much they're going to want to eat, but $20 to $25 for a lunch is pretty feasible. And there are a combination of both. So yes, there are fast food places, but there's also, the deli shops or that kind of thing. So, but $20 to $25 for a lunch is perfect. You guys are providing breakfast every morning, so there's not that cost, and every dinner has been provided. So every group dinner while there is provided. So really, lunch is the only meal that they're going to have to pay for, or any other snacks or that kind of thing for the room, or whatever. But and then spending money, it depends. I have three children myself that are still in high school, and I had one that came back from his Washington D.C. trip with all his money. The other one I had to Venmo him money because he spent $100 on a sushi lunch. He thought that was a good idea. So, uh, but I would say $25 tops for lunch. It would be appropriate.
I just
Um,
sent three of my students, three of my kids with you folks down in Washington, D.C.
yeah,
in
that.
April.
Yep, that's what and that's pretty much that's the foundation of World Strides in general. Is that Washington D.C. trip is how World Strides started. But yeah, yeah. So honestly, you won't need a ton of money for this trip. And what we did too is that Venmo debit card for our kids, where we gave that to them, where we could preload it, so that way if they did run out of money, then we send more. But as far as meals go, lunch is the only thing that they're going to be really buying for food. I hope that helped.
Yeah. One of the questions was, is the student login for cut time the same as their school sign in? In terms of password username, it's not. So you should have received what's called the magic link. So cut time uses a magic link that gets sent out. The way we send that out to our parents or our new parents to get set up is I get all of the information. I get your email and what I think is your cell phone number from Aspen X2. Uh, X2 isn't great with identifying what a cell phone number is and what a home line might be. So if you didn't receive that magic link, send me a message and I'll make sure we get you set up with that. But then when you get the magic link, you use your students. I think you do use your students' school ID, right? Their school ID number.
Believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you will have to know that.
Yep. Been a while. Yeah.
All right. Well, if that's it, we'll wrap things up. Thank you all for coming. And for those of you that are getting this recording delayed, we'll send this out. And
again,
that's
if you
it.
have any questions that come up whatsoever, feel free to email me and I'll get you the answers as quick as possible. We will, on our end, World Strides does require you to register every person that's traveling on the trip at some point when we get to that point, when you talk to your, not for Helio, but or maybe it is, I'm not sure. Anyways, we register every person that travels on the trip, so we have a database of who's traveling for safety reasons and also for the insurance, so we know who's covered on that trip. So that will be something down the line on our website that you'll need to provide the link for signing up. But that's all. That's all. The rest of the stuff we have for you. So.
Okay. I did
And
miss one question.
I'm going to pick your brains too on all these other, uh, like Zephy and all that. I've never heard of those, so I'm going to pick your brains
Oh,
on
yeah.
that because I'm always having my directors ask me how can we set up different things. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zephy's great. I did miss a question. Is it recommended freshman parents attend their first trip? I've never recommended that. This is the first time since London that we did a followers package.
Mhm.
I would suggest, let them, give them wings, let them fly. They can do this, especially if a lot of the kids have already if they did the 8th grade DC trip, they should be fine. But we have tons of experience with traveling. If I were to say this is probably like my 30th trip, I probably wouldn't be too far off. we have it down to a science. People are always impressed with how we move and how we take attendance and move this whole group around so quickly and efficiently. But I can't answer that. Like every student's different. If they're hesitant of going, they're a little concerned, and this is their first trip without mom or dad, you're more than welcome to join the followers package. Like I said, well, if you didn't do the survey, and we'll be getting that information out to anyone who didn't complete the survey on Sunday, assuming there's still seats left. So, yeah. All right.
Amazing.
Well, thank you very much. And if you guys have any other questions, like I said, and Jody, you guys can email me if it's a question for Jody. I'll forward to her, or any questions about your child's cut time account, I can forward to our treasurers.
Yep.
Look at that. So, and if you guys aren't sure who that is, John Rolfe is our treasurer. Raise your hand there, John. Yeah. He's taking over as of midnight tonight. And then our treasurer elect,
a little bit before that too, but
yeah. So John's been our treasurer elect for the last 2 years. So he's officially taking over as treasurer, and then taking over as treasurer elect is Kevin Motchman. Wave your hand there, Kevin. I think you're at the top of the screen. I believe we also have our former president, but now is going to be moving into the role of secretary. Melissa Vaccaro is somewhere on, or she was. And any other board members?
no, I think that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Erin's on the call.
Oh,
Other
Erin
VP.
Westling, although she's working right now, she's just listening. She's a nurse, and she's our vice president. So she'll be kind of taking over the role of running all the fundraisers. But Erin is also our nurse that's traveled with us for the last 2 trips. So she'll be coming with us on our trip to Chicago.
Well, I would like to say thank you to all of you in those roles, supporting the band itself and doing what you do, because I've been there. I've been the band parent. I've done the board. I've done all of that. And what you provide as support for your director and for these students it's amazing. So thank you all for taking the time to do this for the students.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
All right.
All right. Well, we will see you all soon in a couple of weeks, or hopefully our first band rehearsal. So take care.
All right.
Take care. Thank
All
you,
right,
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.